All right, guys, welcome to build episode number 1. We're starting something new here at Top Tier Fabrication. We're going to be doing build series on every vehicle that we bring in the shop. For this one, we've got a Infinity G37. We're doing a roll cage, doing a bunch of fab work. We're going to make this thing as light as can be, as much weight reduction as possible. Stay tuned.
Our customer brought his car roughly 90% stripped already. Here, we're removing the dashboard, HVAC, the steering column, and sound deadening behind the dash on the firewall. We speculate that our weight savings here will be in the neighborhood of 60 to 70 pounds.
So we're going to remove the sunroof because it's probably, I don't know, speculating 30 pounds or so. So we're going to have a big old hole in the roof. What we're going to do is we're going to take and make a panel on the bead roller and just tack weld it in and throw some Bondo on it or something of the sort and seal it in there good. But should reduce the weight by, I don't know, the piece of sheet metal we're going to put in there is going to be, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 pounds, and we're taking out probably 30. So weight reduction, that's all it's about. Reducing weight. Old girl going on a weight loss program. Out. Hi. Massive intercooler. Tiny radiator. Whoever made this intercooler did a really freaking good job. And whoever did the fab work for it did a really good job too. Overall, this car is built like really well. Way nicer than my car. Go God! See, I told you, best view. Let me see here. Oh, look at that car. Nice. Nice. Bubba, come on now. Freaking son, look at that giblet. Yes. Okay then. All right. Now, methinksies. Dude, those are nice headers. They're just like log manifold headers, but they're nice. Tight, like a tiger. You know what I'd have done? So I probably would have done low slung header. Got a lot more space. If they'd have done that, they wouldn't have had to done any massaging. Well, they may not have been able to do a low slung header on the passenger side. I don't know. Nice, dude. Whoever built this, I'm telling you, whoever built this did a good job. Everything, I feel like everything was thought of. Except for power steering. I ain't got no power steering. That sucks. But it's okay.
This is the first time that I've had to remove the HVAC on an Infiniti. Here I was trying to get it out without removing the column and the crash bar first, which was a mistake on my part. The next time I do a job like this, I'll remove the steering column, the crash bar, the rest of the wiring prior to removing the HVAC box. Since we're not going to be reusing this crash bar, we're building a 6-point cage with a lower dash bar. To save time, I just went ahead and cut the crash bar out rather than reversing a lot of work to make it easier to get the column out, then the crash bar, then the HVAC box. Okay, we have the dash and related components out of the car and are moving to the prep and design stage of the roll cage.
This is what I'm going to weld the main hoop to. This bolts into the chassis. Now once we weld the hoop to it, these will not be removable without cutting the hoop off. But these are the main chassis supports in the car. So I'm just prepping this so that I'll have fresh metal to weld this thing to. Alright, here's where the magic happens.
I wasn't very clear in my original explanation here, so be thankful for the power of voiceover. I use Bentech Pro software to design roll cages and chassis. It's a super easy to use software. You just measure your height and your width of where you want bends to be, plot them out on paper with some really basic measurements, input those measurements called pick points into Bentech, and it gives you all of the information that you need to fabricate your desired tube.
Alright, so then we're gonna go part details. This dude. Alright, tell me what I got here, Peppy. Okay, so then I got 5 bends. They're all gonna be on a 0 offset, which means that they're planar. So that means that the hoop isn't gonna be like bent like this. It means that each leg is gonna be planar with one another on the same plane. So we got bend 1, bend 2, bend 3, bend 4, bend 5.
We let Bentech work its magic. We got our tube cut length and bend locations. Now it's time to prep this tube. I like to use isopropyl alcohol to wipe material down with. It's safe on your skin, doesn't smell horrible, and it does a great job at degreasing metals.
It's all in the prep. At 23. Bend 2 is at 21 5/8. Bend 2, 52 degrees. Bend 3, it's at 43 and 9/32. 43 and 9/32. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So that's bend 3, 23. Okay, bend 4, 61 and 25. 61 and 25/32. So that's 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25. So let's bend 4 at 52. Okay, and then bend 5, 75 and 27. 75 and 27. So that's 16, 18, 22, 24, 26, 27. So let's bend 5 at 23 degrees. So we'll take our very last one, set it at bend 5, because that's going to be the last one that we bend. And we're going to put this one at bend 1. And then we'll leave that at bend 5. And we'll just slide bend 1 down. So we're going to tighten this down on the table. Right now, these blocks are planar to each other. Go to 23 degrees. So I know from past experience that you need to bend inch and a half 095 about 2.25 degrees further to account for spring back. So we're gonna bend it to 25. It says 23, we'll go to 25. Now, I'm going to stick the main hoop in here and I'm going to tack it in place. All right, so we were going to do a post removal of all of the dead weight weigh-in of the car to see what it weighed before we started adding tubes back in it. We've got the seats, we got the steering column, everything minus the tubing that we're going to be adding to the car is in the car. But went to turn the scales on, and both of the fronts have a malfunction of some sort, so we're only able to use the two rear scales. Can't weigh an entire car doing that. So we've got our trash can here. We zeroed it and filled up the can with all of the bits and bobs that we're cutting out: the sunroof, the dash, the heater core, the evaporator, the blower motor, the whole 9 yards. And we've got 78 pounds is what we have sitting here. Then we've got our harness bar over there that we took out also. That was a bolt-in harness bar. It's about 20 pounds. So we're just going to call it 100 pounds. That's what we got. So you're moving about 100 pounds. My projection is that we're going to add, roughly 100 to 120 pounds worth of tubing. So the goal is for us to be at or below the same weight that the car was whenever it came in here, with, dash, headliner, not headliner, it already had the headliner pulled, sunroof, all the climate control stuff, all the amenities that a race car don't need. So, anyways, that's it. That's all we got. All right, y'all, this concludes episode 1 of the build series. Thanks for watching this far. Stay tuned on the next one. We're going to be putting in A-pillar bars, dash bar, upper windshield bar, maybe some door bars. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment. We'll catch you on the next one.